YR is supposed to be on board. Arknolia is supposed to be on board as well there. So I'm gonna get everybody on the call here. Hopefully maybe we get Shanzu on the call. How's your cousin doing, man?
I think he's doing okay. I haven't really seen him today yet.
Oh wow. We should probably someday soon. You should probably message him or go down to where he's at right now and have a little talk with him. Because I would like to get settled this issue with him that we had for the past year and a half there.
Show view, view for you and the view for me.
Hello.
Yes, this is Sean's view.
Oh
What is
gosh.
your? Do we
Oh
want to do something with you?
gosh.
Now,
Yeah.
wrestling.
What TV for the buggle?
Prince, you there? Is Prince Otto here?
No.
No, he's not. All right. Okay, I'm going to get Prince Otto called because and Jacob as well because he expressed it about being on the show just as well there. We're going to be talking about luchador wrestling.
Oh,
I know you mentioned that last night there. Okay, where's Jacob at? Dang gummit. Why? See if we can
Arknolia.
add. What up?
All right.
See if we
Hey,
can get.
YR.
Minnesota Silver Roll.
How you doing?
What's up,
Good.
Ark?
Thank you.
Hey,
Hey, we got YR and Minnesota Silver Hunter here, and we're gonna.
What's up, Magnolias?
how you doing?
Yeah, surviving.
Is anything?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Me too.
How is everything at your area? That has things been patched up? Because I know you mentioned on the call in Ken's program there was a lot of issues with the area that you're in right now. I was hoping everything got settled. I hope the city of Minneapolis took care of that. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I got about 6 rolls of barbed wire out in the garage. I got like 3,000 feet. I need to order
There you
more,
are.
but I'm
That's
wrapping that
tough.
shit around my fucking yard, man, and shit hits.
That stuff's fun to put up.
Yeah, always fun there. Yep. What's up, RP?
Hey, Dr. Earl.
Hey, what's RP? What's
Yeah,
going on, bud?
What's up?
Everything is going good. Ready to do our wrestling show there? I know you expressed an interest in it.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. We are live right now as I speak.
All right,
All right there.
awesome.
All right
Hey,
there.
Jacob, you just got off work?
No, I'm at work now, but I can still hang out.
Oh,
Ah.
you do a couple Bill Cosby's?
Oh gosh.
I'm just joking, brother.
I know.
What's the topic today?
Luchador wrestling. We're taking a look at all the luchadors in the pro wrestling world, whether it's Psychosis, Ubito Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, and I guess American wrestlers who are masked just as well count as well. Arc,
Yeah, Eddie
Yeah,
Guerrero,
Eddie Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the anyone with that's right. All the lucha, and we're talking people with Latin descent, Mexican, like, cause I know in Mexico wrestling is big over there.
Jacob RP looking like he's at the fucking high school right now. High school yearbook picture.
No,
Hey, you
I'm
got-
a bartender. I work at a bar.
You got to get a haircut. Come on.
What?
No, you need to go grow yours out, dude.
What other luchadors?
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo. Yeah.
La
What about the
Parca.
guy from Japan? Does he count? Oh no, wait. Latin descent.
Maybe so. I believe so, because there's a lot of wrestlers who go over to Japan,
Well-
American, Mexican,
No, I
you
thought you
name it.
meant like masked wrestlers.
Ah,
We got to give a lot of credit to the WCW because they're the ones that made the luchador wrestling big in America.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
There, with the ones I just mentioned, Rey Mysterio Jr.,
Conan.
as he was known back then, as well as
Right, Conan.
Conan.
Yes.
That's right there. The LWO featuring Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero Jr., you name it.
What about Y2J? Do we give him credit for the WCW days?
I mean, there's a difference, but there's not a difference from cruiserweights and luchadors. Like, there's kind of a difference, but back then, like, the cruiserweights did wrestle that lucha style. It's like a different style.
Yes.
The Mexican style, you know?
Yes, exactly. I mean, and come
Lucha.
to
Yeah.
think of it, when you really think about it now, it's like there's not much cruiserweight around.
Yeah, I think Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic are about the only ones I can think of.
I think so, yes. And I know that they recently, I know Ray brought back the LWO to combat the group that his son Dominic is in, the Judgment Day.
Unfortunately, I haven't followed wrestling in about 3 years, so I'm just guessing at some of it.
Well, I do pay attention to what's going on now and then there, but in terms of watching it, I don't have a TV in my room, so it's so sadly, I have to pay attention to some of the storylines, the shorts on YouTube, the highlights, and everything else there. That's pretty much what it is. But I guess, as you all know, Dominic Mysterio has joined the bad guys, the Judgment Day, which if you ask me, should probably rename himself the Judgment Council or Council Order of the Judgment or something like that. That would sound a lot better than the Judgment Day, but then again, I'm not a writer for the WWE, so what do I know?
Well, that is the best thing besides the. I mean, like right now right now in 2023, AEW, WWE, um, Jesus Christ, what's Ray's son's name again?
But his name is
Dominic.
Dominic,
Dominic,
yes.
Dominic. I don't know why
Yep.
it's Damien. Dominic has the most heat as a heel. More heat than MJF. More heat than any heel in WWE or AEW. When he comes out and he tries to speak and that crowd's booing him, oh, that's what you want and when you're heel. You want that.
That's a
Exactly.
good heel. Yeah.
Absolutely, there. And when you think about it, he kind of like kind of mimicked Eddie Guerrero's style of hairdo, style of wrestling. He kind of like is in its way is paying homage to Eddie Guerrero, who you remember was friends with Chris Benoit as well as Rey Mysterio Jr. or Rey Mysterio there. I mean, like Eddie's still one of the great ones out there. His lie, cheat, and steal gimmick out there was probably one of the greatest in both WCW and in the WWE. Who could not forget his feud with JBL? I mean, like JBL's got some issues. He's yelling his head off at his staff, and there's a problem there within the parking way. So what's going? And you notice that all the tires are missing from his limo. Eddie Guerrero comes out wheeling one of these tires out to the ring. Say, hey, I got some deal for you. You could call it the real steal. Or that time when Eddie Guerrero was behind the wheel of JBL's limousine, say, hey, we going for a ride. Does this thing have hydraulics? Yeah, La Viva la Rasta. And he just goes over the place, messes up the whole limo, messes up JBL. It's like, look for that segment, and believe me, you'll be astounded how great the WWE was back then to what it was now when you think about it. No, but it pisses me off that it's doing this. Now I gotta start the stream over again. It just happened.
Brian, do you want to give a shout out to
I gotta get
the
live.
Allen, Texas shooting? Do you want to
I'm
speak on that a little bit?
going to speak
Yeah.
on that a little bit because I want to address something that a friend of mine had said, but I got to wait till we get on the air once again there because we're not.
Oh yeah. That place is next to that's by where me and Ark is.
Yeah.
That
Dallas.
Yeah,
I mean, more
Alan's.
close to me. It's like really like 10 minutes down the road for me, but
Let me see what we got
pretty
Thought
big.
you were in Houston.
All right.
Nah, I'm in
It's by
the DFW.
Well, YR is by
Did you
Texas.
move?
That's what I'm saying. Or I mean, Ark, when I met Brown for the Judas Priest, I went all the, I not me, but I drove to Houston, went to a
Mm.
whole other city.
Yep,
So I could see the Star games all the time.
that's right.
Huh?
I see there. Yeah. Let me see what's going on. I don't.
Yeah,
What do
or
these
go on
days?
the channel.
While you're up there, you can watch the Texas Rangers if you're a baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do, but I see when I only go when the Astros come into town. That's my
Mm-hmm.
team.
Oh,
But the Rangers are kicking some butt this season for
they're
sure.
doing well.
Man, I never seen them score. The other day it was like 14 runs to 16 to something, or it was like what
Well, when
13.
you look at their entire lineup, it's like, holy cow, where'd they get all these people?
But what do you think they're pitching? Because I've been watching more of the hockey, but like their pitching's pretty decent.
Yeah, if they can get DeGrom healthy, they're in great shape.
Couple of minutes here.
Yeah, because that's what you need is that damn pitching. Come October.
I'm gonna have one of these days. Probably after this show, we gotta have to switch to my previous computer because it's way taking too long. I don't know what it
Oh, you got
is
a
or
new
why it's
computer?
doing this. The computer I'm using right now is what my nephew gave me a long while back there, back in Texas there, last year there. Shit, come on, hurry up, man.
Well, I guess Brown, time to quit going to the massage parlor and save some money, get a new computer.
Oh, please.
What, you don't like massages?
Well, I like
Some
massages,
kind of a happy ending.
but I would like to get them from my lady love there. That's about it.
Well, what are you doing that,
Does
Brown?
it talk about like happy ending?
While you're doing that, Brown, I did listen to the rest of the John 5 interview with Eddie Trunk,
Yes.
and Eddie was asking him all about how did the Motley Crue thing come about.
Yes.
I mean, typical answers, like they were always friends, blah blah blah.
Yep.
But he did confirm. I mean, they got into like, is there tracks being played? Is there this? And it's all live. John 5
Yes.
says it's all live, but
Yes.
the backing vocals are pre-recorded. The women that go out there and dance, they're just dancing. They got a mic too, but they're not really singing through that mic. They're only doing the dancing.
Yeah, I see
And
there.
he
Yeah.
explained. And Eddie Trunk's like, well, I would rather just them sing than just dance. And John Five's like, nah, because when they're dancing, if they were singing, they can't do that because you run out of breath and all that
That's
dancing.
that's true there.
So, I mean, that's the only, backing, basically pre-recorded backing vocals
Yeah.
is, but everything else 100% live. And I sent you that video.
Yes.
I know like Vince Neil was pretty bad like 10 years ago, but he's definitely he's better. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that?
Little bit better. Yes. Though it's
A
some
little bit
people
better.
on the YouTube spectrum may be thinking that maybe he needs to stop singing because they're still saying he can't understand a dang word that the guy is saying there. That's
And
for
look,
sure.
he was gonna do a couple solo runs before the newer crew thing, and he had a date for April
Mm-hmm.
in Allen, actually in Allen. I was gonna go. It's just a Vince Neil solo date, but that got canceled. I don't know why. But, I was gonna hit that, but I always wanted to see Molly Crew live.
Right.
Uh,
I was hoping to see him back when he was touring with Ozzy Osbourne back in '83 there, but I never really got a chance there. You know.
Hey, Earl, did you listen to the channel I sent you, that Terminal Passage?
Not yet. I never had a chance to, unfortunately. I've been
I think that stuff it's up your alley, let's put it that way.
terms of industrial, ambient, and that kind of stuff there.
Yeah, it's very ethereal.
All right, there. All right, sir.
Hey, you want to hear like a little story?
Go ahead there. Go ahead.
In high school, not like the marching band, but
Ah.
like a rock band, not very good. We're just kind of
Covers?
trying to learn how to play together.
I see there. Trying to learn how to make some music there and all that stuff there.
Yeah, because right across across the alley, Rocking Horse. I don't know if you ever heard of the band Rocking Horse.
Um, Not really. No, I have never. I've heard of White Horse, which was McMar's previous group, and of course we know Crazy Horse with Neil Young.
Well, this band Rocking Horse used to go and play. I mean, I don't think they're real famous, but they're famous enough to play like state fairgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple songs on the radio that would be playing back in the 80s. Love Me or Leave Me and Radioactive. And we used to they used to practice in their garage across the street from right in our alley, and we'd go over there and watch them practice.
I see
And
there.
it was pretty
Yes.
cool.
All right. I see there. All right. We should be live right now, folks. Once again. All right. So, YR, you said you wanted to get my opinion on what happened in Allen, Texas, in regards to that shooting. Yeah. I was going to make a video about it last night, but what is the name of the guy who did this? Because his last name I know is Garcia, and it would just be kind of comical the fact that the fact that some guy whose last name is Garcia would be promoting racist bullshit there like that just makes no sense. Especially with the fact that
Definitely fishy for sure.
I know.
Well, all these shootings lately are fishy to me. I heard a couple of guys on a podcast talking about they think a lot of this is planned and plotted.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And the media is kind of using it to push gun control.
Yeah, that's
which is ironic because most of these guys would get their guns anyway.
Yeah, and no matter what. You remember there's a black market, and the NRA is they're pushing for more gun sales with the protect yourself at all costs, gimmick that they're pushing on. I mean, like you remember when the Sandy Hook shooting occurred, many people within the gun industry were saying, suggesting teachers carry guns in their desks there. It's like, well, wait a minute. Suppose some of those teachers have short fuses. Keep that in mind.
It's true.
It's true, because I remember there was this one teacher back in high school who actually grabbed a student and threw him right out of the class, put his hands on him, and just boom, threw him right out the door just for asking the same question.
Brown, when you and Ark were in school, though, they were allowed to give whippings, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I got spanked when I was in fucking elementary school. The goddamn principal would whip my ass.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did you deserve it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yo.
Did the parents have to give permission back then, or it was just?
I just say it was standard. I mean, it was like if you go to school, you get what they give or whatever.
Yeah. I know there was a few
Basically, when I went, there was no permission. They just did it. But when my kids started going to school, they were sending permission slips home. If your kid is bad, can we spank him? That sort of thing.
Really? I never knew about that. Because back in elementary and all that stuff, they didn't really give no whoopings. But there was this one junior high teacher, we call him Mr. J, and he would give some whoopings whenever one of the students were like out of the line there. But it weren't harsh whoopings, but in a way you felt embarrassed when he got them because all the other kids would laugh at your ass.
Oh, shit. When I was in high school, my junior year, the fucking arts teacher guy fucking got me in the hallway, and he was punching his fist on the locker next to my head and broke his watch.
Ooh.
His dad's Rolex and shit. Wow. And all the shit was all bouncing all over the thing, all over in the hall, and I just started laughing. And I go, oh, shit, your dad's watch just got broken.
Man. Wow.
And, yeah, I mean, shit like that. I mean, fucking, I was fucking in high school, and I fucking got some of that shit still.
Wow, man. Okay, so we're back live now, and let me start off with the Allen, Texas shooting that occurred there. Let me get my thoughts and opinions out there. And let me
I think
start.
the reason why they're shooting everyone is because they never got their asses beat.
Maybe so, or either that or something else there. I don't know. Some people have a tendency to let that anger build up and boom, it all implodes all at once and everybody pays for it. But the thing that gets me is that some gal pal back in the H-Town area, she was she posted, so she shared a post on her Facebook page regarding, gun control and everything else there. Remember, she's in her 20 something there, so many kids in the 20 somethings are going to be for gun control because it's been told to them many times. And in one of the things that she wrote in her post was, fuck Greg Abbott, who, as you know, is the governor of Texas. And I'm like, wait a minute. Greg Abbott has nothing to do with this. The person responsible is the guy who pulled the trigger on those 8 people that died. But
They
yet,
should do. They should do. I mean, yes, like criminals will get what they want, but I'm a little.
what the
The
heck?
Republicans' answers to these gun stuff, they really no one has any answers.
We don't. You know what? I'm going to
Like,
quote something that Filthy Mouth Gamer said a long, long while back. Everyone's going to, a lot of people, these anti-gun activists are going to talk about, we need gun control. We need more gun control. It's going to keep saying it over and over and over and over and over and over. How many more lives have to be taken from guns? But it's going to settle down, it's going to die out, and no one's going to speak a dang word about it. That is until the next shooting occurs. This is a vicious cycle, and it's been repeated over and over and over. Now, let me give you the viewpoint of the people who are anti-gun. Most of them had grew up in areas and have witnessed or experienced gun violence before them or to them in the past there. Like Diane Feinstein, she said in a testimony that she grew up in the area where there was lots of gun violence, so that's going to obviously have an effect on her there, no doubt about that. That's why she was for gun control. But the thing is, if you're going to take away all the guns, there's going to be the black market, as Cyril Hunter said there. And plus, you're going to have to later go after all the knives, the baseball bats, the tire
The
irons, the ropes, the lassos, you name it there. Other things can be used as a weapon, like a bowling ball. Some
The
person could.
candlesticks. Of course,
Exactly.
you have to play
Frying
flute to
pans.
understand that one.
Yep, exactly. They're going to have to go
The
all out.
wrench.
The wrench, absolutely. Sledgehammer, axe to chop wood.
Car.
Yep, absolutely there. So, getting rid of guns ain't going to really solve the murder rate.
Well, you get rid of guns, and then they're just going to have another awesome little thing they'll use, more up and close and personal. A lot of people that shoot people, they do it because it's a lot harder killing someone with a knife. You know what I'm saying?
That's true there.
Getting all that blood and shit all over on you, looking in their eyes and shit. Fucking when you're farther away, it's like fucking playing video game. But when you're fucking up close, fucking with a hammer or a fucking knife or something, I mean, you're hearing the, the bones cracking and the whimpering and you know what I'm saying? It's not different.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I've never done it, but I'm just saying.
Brown, if you had to murder someone, what would you use? A gun, your bare hands, a poison?
Well, I would never murder anybody, but I would do this. If I had a weapon, I would definitely shoot him in the leg or something like that, or shoot him in the crotch.
Yeah.
But anyways, before we get to our wrestling topic, I want to get everybody's opinion on this little thing here. Now, a couple of days ago, about 5 days ago, I posted a video about this former writer of SmackDown, Brittany Abrahams, and apparently she is suing the WWE because apparently the WWE has come up with all these racist story pitches there. Like I explained that there was a storyline written for 2 Muslim wrestlers, a male and female, but the male has a secret. They came up with the secret in the storyline, but some other writers suggested that sucks. How about him being his secret that he was behind the 9/11 attacks? Now you would
Oh my God.
consider that, yep, that was bad taste, obviously, but I don't know. Would you consider that racist?
Mm.
Not racist, stupid.
Yeah, it's true there. Now, I got a couple comments from an individual named Shane's Warped World Creations, all in one word. He said, quote unquote, and the lawsuit won't stand. It isn't a lawsuit, it's a complainant. You can't sue someone or a company for making suggestions. It just don't work that way. People throw around the word racist so much they forget what it actually means. Just because it was about September 11th and to be about foreigners doesn't make it racist. Bad taste, yeah, but not racist. This is a crock and utterly ridiculous like I thought it would be. A storyline about two Muslims and one has a secret. And it was behind the 9/11 attacks? Really? Bad taste, but not racist. This is ridiculous and totally not what that lawsuit is about. It's about wrongful termination. Everything you said, Dr. Earl, they being sued for literally you can't be sued for. This is a waste of time. And he also concludes by saying, can't sue someone for making suggestions, ridiculous and completely false information. Not at all what the ex-writer is suing WWE for. Whoever told you this or wherever you heard it is completely not true. Which, well, by the way, I read this from the Miami Herald, by the way. I guess it's a established newspaper there. He concludes, even again, if WWE was racist, still cannot sue them for making a suggestion about something you don't agree with. It don't work that way. Sorry, but this video gets on my nerves. It's bullshit and completely inaccurate videos like these that gives companies or people a bad name. He tells me, Shane tells me, if you're going to put out information, at least do some research. I did do some research. Had to clock in as quickly as it can, because I had to clock in the morning there, so I had to hurry up and get that video as much out there as quick as possible there. And I did do some research. Now I invited this Shane dude, or to come on this program, but unfortunately I have not been able to get a hold of him. I don't know if he has a Skype account or anything like that. Hope he could pop up in the chat somewhere here and there, and we could find out what he has to say about it. But like I said, this was from the Miami Herald where I read this from, and I understand there are a lot of web pages out there that kind of like give what they call clickbait a lot of times. When it comes to, like, say, for example, Henry Cavill and the Superman situation, what's going on. Yeah, remember Henry Cavill, James Gunn, who currently runs DC Cinematic Universe, he announced that Henry Cavill will not be returning as Superman. They're going to focus on Superman's earlier years, which, the TV show Smallville already did that. That's for sure there. But I think all of us would love to see Henry Cavill back, especially after he was teased at the end of the Black Adam movie there. And the thing, and there's all these web pages reporting this for somewhat accurate information. Like we see it on YouTube, like concerning Lucasfilms. The headline reading: Kathleen Kennedy's failure is now complete. Saying that she may be up for termination for Lucasfilms. Blah blah blah. And shout out to Sean Siu in the chat. Sean, is there a way we can add you to the call, dude? We'd love to add you on our Skype call. Let me know in the chat if you're ready. Definitely want to get your take on this situation, man. Now, when you think about this situation more, does it seem like this Brittany Abrahams is a lot more sensitive?
Yes, all women are.
Yeah, that's true.
And
There.
some guys too. Some guys are sensitive too.
Now, the women online are more sensitive.
Yeah,
And
that's
Yes,
true.
that's true.
Yeah, that's true as well there.
Like the men online want to fight and all that crap. That never happens, but like women,
They want to fight you and dox you.
Or they want to show, or they want to show their boobs and OnlyFans account on Twitter.
Or some
I'm
guys
okay
want
with
to show
that.
you their dick.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't
Some
touch
guys
them, you
want
can't
to show
feel
you the
them, let
whole
alone
cock and
put your
ball.
thing in there. You got to pay to see what they got to offer and such, but still not touching. You can't touch them, you can't hold their hands, you can't kiss them on the lips, let alone by their boobs and everything else there. So, so unfortunately, it's dude, it's like shit. I can't speak no more on that subject there on when it comes to that particular topic,
What?
but
Girl Brown's getting horny.
oh, dude,
He's
there.
like, dude, I can't talk no more about this.
I know, yeah, because I'm getting tongue-tied and it's so distracting from the topic of this program, which is of course the luchador wrestlers that we know and love very well, from all the ones that we have mentioned, from Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, Conan,
La Parca.
the Parka, that's for sure. Sin Cara, that's for sure. We mentioned him where I guess he's still involved with WWE. I guess he's a mid-carder, if I'm correct there.
Likely.
It's likely, yeah. Now, I heard that somehow there's somebody else portraying Sin Cara, if I'm correct. I don't know if it's Latin or an American or whatever it was there. But there are mass American wrestlers out there, like Mr. Wrestling 1 and Mr. Wrestling 2. There's a dude named who calls himself Excalibur, who commentates with Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone on the AEW programs there. And we should probably let me start off with, of course, the big one of all, Rey Mysterio, who recently got into the WWE Hall of Fame. He was inducted by Conan, as you know, his homie there. And of course, they had to mix in the Judgment Day Dominic storyline there. Like, for example, they walked off Dominic and Rhea Ripley during Dominic's father's speech, obviously. So obviously that was adding to the storyline just as well there. But then again, I think let me add to the Dominic heel storyline there. The reason people are really hitting on Dominic because he turned against his father and his family. For whichever
Wasn't
reason.
his sister part of this thing?
But again?
Wasn't the sister part of this thing?
Well, and yeah, Aaliyah, yeah, she was during when they were doing the Thunderdome period there during the pandemic. She was basically it was Rey Mysterio defending his family against the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and in his court he had Buddy Murphy, who we now know as Buddy Matthews, after he got let go from the WWE, and apparently Aaliyah, who was, I guess, 19 or 20 at that time there, she apparently in the storyline fell in love with Buddy Murphy. I guess they were together for a while there, and I guess Buddy Murphy finally turned against Rollins, and became a good guy afterwards there. But, there was some talk of possibly her getting into the wrestling ring, but we have yet to see that happen there. Who knows? But, Mysterio, he's carved out a good career for himself. He was involved in the Ruthless Aggression era. He's involved, I don't know if he was involved with TNA/Impact or not. I don't recall that much. But I know Conan was involved with that company there. I don't think he was involved with the WWE after WCW went under like it did. But Conan was a big part of he was part of the Filthy Animals. He was part of the NWO Wolfpack.
Well, from what I understand, he had a lot to do with a lot of the luchadors coming over.
That's true there. He made sure a lot of a lot of the Mexican wrestlers come over there to break it big in the States there, because I understand, luchador wrestling is big in Mexico, if I'm correct. you may remember there was Lucha Underground that was running on TV for a while there. And I guess one of them was Eddie Guerrero's daughter.
Hmm.
In fact, that's where we
Ooh,
heard.
that's a controversial subject right there with his daughter, man.
In fact, that's where we first heard of Famous Pete, who
And I
later.
say that I say that because of the allegations recently with Eddie's daughter and Vicky, and
Oh, so can
that's
you?
so sad too. That's so sad.
Yeah, but yeah. I didn't hear about this until to enlighten everyone listening about this.
Yeah, so apparently, allegedly, Vicky's ex or current boyfriend, he sexually assaulted her, but
Really?
Vicky took over, his side because he's the guy, and sometimes the girls do that.
You know
What?
what?
Wait, RP, who'd you sexually assault?
I
Did I miss something here?
know. RP's got a light. RP enlighten us, dude. And he's not saying anything right now.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear about this until now. I have to look it up when they're done with the show here. But we also, I'm gonna let Arkio do some of the talking just as well, because I know he's been waiting to mention a few there.
Oh, I kind of did, but okay.
Yeah, go right ahead there, Ark.
Oh, now I've lost my train of thought. Of course, you mentioned Vicky Guerrero,
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero's wife. She,
Widow.
I guess, well, yeah, but at one time she was his wife. At any rate, I know that she played the, what do they call those people? General manager of
SmackDown.
SmackDown for a while.
Yep.
And supposedly there was a storyline way back that Dominic was Eddie Guerrero's son, not
Really?
Ray's.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
way back in WCW.
Or the Ruthless Aggression era, because I remember there were clips about that surfacing around that time.
Well, it was in WCW. I don't think they had a aggression era.
No, maybe there. Well, no, well,
Well,
Ruthless.
YR should remember this.
What was it?
Eddie Guerrero, Dominic was supposedly Eddie Guerrero's son, not Ray's.
I vaguely was that on. That was a WWE promo,
No,
right?
I think it was WCW.
WCW. Oh,
I think. Heck, I don't remember. It was years ago, obviously.
I think it may have been WWE because WCW never really had a storyline like that.
Yeah, that's more of a WWE storyline because they're
I
more into that kind of thing. I
Right.
mean, heck, they had a angle at a time that supposedly Vince was messing with his own daughter.
Oh, wow.
You know, that sort of thing.
Oh, gosh. Who can not forget the Hornswoggle being Vince's legit bastard son?
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that they pulled is like, what?
I know, yeah. But then again, who could not forget the Judy Bagwell on one of those contractions match there, featuring her son Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
Oh yeah,
See,
that's
this is what happened. Like, what's his name came in? Russo. Vince Russo came into WCW.
Yep.
And did all like the goofy stuff. But like when Russo was writing Attitude Era stuff,
Yes.
that was really good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was Vince and it was Vince Russo and Vince McMahon, and I think the Ed Ferrara guy, another guy that's writing.
Yes.
And I don't know how long Russo was in WCW writing, but it was like hit or miss. Like a lot of stuff was goofy. The Judy Bagwell on a pole match,
Beaver cleavage.
Yeah, all that stuff.
The powers that be segments. But
was that bad. Those weren't that bad. But like it's
oh,
he was
how
just trying to do something new because
yeah?
everything in
How
wrestling has
about
been done.
this one? You may remember this. David Flair is a psycho killer.
Yes.
There you go. Going after DDP's wife, Kimberly. Or better, how about this? How about this one? Hacksaw Jim Duggan as a janitor. All of a sudden, here's the thing. Lex Luger, along with the late Elizabeth by his side, had spiced some brownies with laxatives to give to Sting, who was his opponent that night. Send this over to Sting over there. The roadie is carrying the brownies. Hacksaw Jim Duggan says, "Oh, let me expect those brownies for you." He takes the whole tray, eats them all up, and next thing you know, Duggan is in the bathroom, obviously there. He comes out, "Whoo, that was a nasty one. Hey, boss, I left a present for you." That was kind of funny when you think about it there. But the idea of those segments, of those stints and storylines was to give new breathing ground to WCW. He came in, he wanted to give new. He basically he took on WCW as a challenge. And when you think about it, Russo was trying to get everybody noticed. He was trying to get everybody to be a hit, whether it's high card, mid card, lower card. He was making the stars out of everybody. Even Billy Kidman, who at the time was a mid carder, he was trying to get him going there. I mean, he came with a lot of interesting storylines there. I mean, remember back during the Attitude Era, Hardy Boys, which were mid card, they were successful there. So I guess that was.
You remember the Matt Hardy Lita Edge thing, right?
Yes, I remember that. Yes. Team Extreme. That's what it was. That's what it was known as. In fact, there was a WWF Special Edition magazine devoted to those three there.
And that's with a young Jeff Hardy.
Yep. Probably
Young
before.
Jeff Hardy was the best.
Yeah. What do you say about the Jeff Hardy nowadays?
I hate it. I hate it. I don't like his look. I don't like the big gaps in his ears.
I
I
know.
don't
I
like the
was going to
face paint.
question that as well.
I don't like the
He's
face
always,
paint.
he's always what? He's always had that back in
I don't.
like
No. I like his old face paint, the glow in the dark face paint. But now it's like just weird, like art on his face. I don't. I don't like it. I don't.
Hmm. I'm glad you brought that up about the earlobe singing. I think it's time. I'm hoping that maybe that trend will die down soon there, because you're going to have surgery to get your ears repaired. Because when it gets stretched out like that, there's no going back. They're going to droop down like elephant ears.
I do. I do like how Randy used it against him, though.
Mm-hmm.
Randy
Exactly.
put a screwdriver in his
I
earlobes.
remember that just as well there. Yes. Now we all know it probably didn't hurt, but it was made out to hurt there when you think about it there. And the same thing with Rhea Ripley and the former Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho. They
I
have them
think.
as well.
I think Rhea Ripley is the greatest women's wrestler in the past 20 years.
Yeah,
yes.
she's really make a name for herself. That's for sure. There.
I don't like the whole mommy thing. I hate it because
What?
first of all, when Eddie did it, he had an accent to him. I'm your papi. You see an accent. Um, Dominic, he says it in American English. You're my mommy. Like what?
Yeah, mammy or somebody, mommy or
Eddie
mammy or
would
something.
say. Eddie would say, "Tú eres mi mamacita, mommy." That's how you say it,
Mm-hmm.
mamacita. Not mommy. You're my mommy. Like what?
Yeah.
Jacob RP, can you speak real quick on how important it was, and really no one's talking about it, but that WWE does what's the word I'm looking for? Promote to their Hispanic audience with this whole Bad Bunny thing. Like that was huge, right? Puerto
Yeah.
Rico.
Yeah. Who is
See, the
Bad
one thing
Bunny?
about America and especially Americans, white Americans, they don't understand Bad Bunny. They don't understand who he is and what he means to the Latin culture. Right now, Bad Bunny is like our Elvis. our Drake. He can do no wrong. All his songs are hits. But that's when you understand Spanish and his flow in Spanish.
Mm.
So Bad Bunny is literally also, just so you know, he's attracting more women to WWE simply
Uh,
because of him.
Mm.
Simply because of him. Women, bro. If you guys ever even look at pictures of Bad Bunny's concerts, it's all girls, women,
Well, obviously
pretty
there.
beautiful women. They love Bad Bunny.
That's not so surprising because considering Enrique Iglesias and his father Julio back in the day.
Now I know Jim Cornette is not a big fan of Bugs Bunny because he keeps calling him Bugs Bunny, but because he's American, they don't understand our music, our culture, and
Well,
I mean,
Jim
but I mean,
Cornette's. Well, let me say this: Jim Cornette is a hater. He's a tradition. He wants things to go back to the 1970s before when kayfabe was running amok. He wants to bring back the old good old days. Like if he was
no, 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 no. I think what Jim Cornette wants is for people to take wrestling serious.
yeah.
I don't think he cares about where you're from, what you do, whatever. He just likes it when we take it serious,
Yeah.
not when fucking supposed alleged wrestlers take on invisible people in the ring. Like,
Yeah, that stuff drives you nuts.
That's true
yeah,
there,
like that's
yes.
just making a mockery of our sport. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, in that, I know one of the people that
Well,
he took. Go ahead.
I know he
And
hated Kenny Omega because he was wrestling a 10-year-old girl
Really?
and a
yeah,
doll.
yeah.
Mm.
Now listen, not to cut you off, Dr. Brown, but
Go ahead.
I will admit the pizza guy, that guy gets me a little chuckle out of me.
The, the,
There's this new indie wrestler who carries around pizza dough, and he's like a
mm.
pizza guy in the ring.
Oh wow! I think I may have seen
Yeah,
that.
look it up.
Yes.
Look it up.
Mm. All right. I bet he probably throws the pizza dough in the opponent's face and strikes him down, right?
yes.
Yes. Well, one thing. Well, let me speak on Cornette there. Let me speak on something here, and then there's one person that was really hated in the pro wrestling business, Eddie Mansfield. Eddie
Well, hold on.
Mansfield. Go ahead.
Wait, Brown, like,
Hmm.
uh, your cornets. I mean, obviously, like Kenny Bolins and your Disco Infernos, your Conans.
Hmm.
These are all guys, which I agree with. These are all guys that's actually been in the business,
Hmm.
booked matches, been in the business meetings, the
Yep.
wrestling meetings, matches to find talent. All of those guys have.
Yes.
When just like the CM Punk thing, CM Punk's right. Like these young talent that don't respect, and like, even like this LeBron James thing, that one dude that said, "Oh, I don't respect LeBron unless he scores 50 on me." Like the younger
Oh gosh.
generation. I mean, you can call me and RP part of the younger generation, but we still have respect. Like the younger generation I'm talking about is like born in 2000s. Like we're still 90s kids. We still have that respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're right, bro. Because this new wave of wrestling, like, compared to what views that guy had in Attitude Era, they're not getting. It's a bubble, bro. You're not getting. Yeah, obviously, Bad Bunny's doing his thing, getting the women views, like RP said. But like these older people that been in the business are right about
That's
the
true
business.
there. It's true. Yeah, that is very true. Ole Anderson. He mentioned something on Twitter that he was defending Dr. D. David Schultz. David D. Dr. Schultz, you may remember, slapped John Stossel, who was then with ABC News at that time for that show 2020. He was doing an
Slapped
interview
the
with,
crap out of him.
yeah, it was damaged his hearing to boot. Stossel ended up suing the WWF, as it known at that time there, because it caused him permanent hearing damage as a result. And the only thing, what he did to provoke those two slaps was saying, "I think wrestling is fake," which is something you don't say to a pro wrestler back then.
Coming on TV.
Exactly. And during the interview, I mean, and at that time, Schultz was in full heel character at that time. And anytime you disrespect their business, the way they earn their money, how they earn their living, bam, you're going to get knocked all to hell.
Think it's fake now?
Exactly. You think that's fake? That's exactly what he was saying to Stossel after he did that. Unfortunately, Schultz got fired from the WWE as a result from that. He got fired from the Chief Chase Strongbow, who is one of the executives, as well as Vince McMahon, for defending the business.
And it's funny because I think the story goes that Vince told him when he went out for the interview, play the heel part. You know, just let him know.
Yes. And by the way, it's during that full report that a dude named Eddie Mansfield, was interviewed, and he exposed the business, how those moves were done and everything else there. So Jim Cornette, though, definitely hates Eddie Mansfield still to this day, but the reason Mansfield did that was payback towards the WWF for letting him go. He was fired because he would not sleep with one of their executives. And years later, we will find out now, we'll put two and two together, that Pat Patterson was that particular executive. Because you remember, he came out of the closet on that reality show on the WWE Network with Howard Finkel, Tony Atlas, Roddy Piper, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And he revealed that he was gay his whole life. So it made sense there. And the thing is, the thing that boggles me is that the Patterson was having his way with all these young male wrestlers, but the WWF didn't do nothing about that. But yet they'll get rid of Mandy Rose, who is the NXT Women's Champion, for putting out content on her fan time page, which is an alternative to OnlyFans. I saw one of the photos. It's just having the two women's titles, covered up her privates. That's the ladies' side, the Pooh side there. Nothing explicit, But
imagine if there was OnlyFans in the '90s with Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson.
Oh
and Stacey
boy!
Keebler.
Oh man!
They'd be millionaires.
Oh
They'd
yeah,
be
Sunny,
millionaires.
Tammy Lynn Sitch. She was one of the biggest download women now out there on the internet at that time. There,
they would be so rich right now.
Exactly.
Well, Tammy Lynn has nudes out there. You just got to look for them.
Even a porn video that she had to resort to doing that to feed her a belly there, because she was. And right now I think she's serving a prison sentence because she was intoxicated behind the wheel and struck some car, killing the passenger in that car there. Wow.
Missy Hyatt has nudes out there.
Oh yeah, China.
And that's man.
China, Tori Wilson.
Yeah, well, Playboy ran a bunch of these girls.
Oh yeah, they were hot.
Mrs. Wife, what's her name?
Mrs. Maurice.
Yeah, she had a spread in Playboy.
Yeah, but yet they get rid of Mandy Rose.
Yeah, so did the girl that ended up killing herself because she got raped over in.
Wow. Ashley, what's her name there? Monsanto, if I'm correct, it was?
Something like that.
Yeah.
She even had a spread in Playboy.
Wow, there. Well, going back
to
the...
Sable.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Who's now married to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Now,
Lucky Brock.
Yeah. And now I want to bring up a luchador wrestler who kind of got herself a bad rep. She kind of like... killed her career there when you think about it after what she did to Rosemary, Courtney Rush, during that AAA event a couple years back. The Sexy Star, yes. They were doing a wrestling match at this AAA event, and I don't know what the hell her problem was, some issues backstage or how what got her really enraged, but Sexy Star won the match against Rosemary, played by Canadian wrestler Courtney Rush. And
real quick, not I don't.
Go ahead.
Remind me to tell my Conan story, and basically about Conan. He's the one who brought luchadors into America. He was the first and all that. But finish what you're saying, but remind me because I got to tell that. And obviously, I did some shows with Conan, and he knows me by name and all that. But go ahead, and I'll explain that later. But
definitely. We'll do that. Yeah. But Sexy Star purposely broke Rosemary's arm during that event. purposely.
Yeah.
Yes. And the whole wrestling world went crazy over that. Cody Rhodes, who was involved with Ring of Honor at that time, stated, "Sexy Star will never be allowed in our locker room for sure." A lot of people, in fact, she kind of like blacklisted herself after doing that. Like, no one's going to book a female wrestler who purposely broke one's arm over a simple issue that occurred backstage moments ago. I mean, come on. That's way unprofessional. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, gosh.
Well,
Go ahead, YR. Your Conan story, dude. YR?
Give me 5 minutes. Go ahead.
All right, good. All right, there. So, my question right now is, where is Psychosis, Ubutu Guerrera? Where are those two guys now? Because I know
remember Mil Mascaras?
Mil Mascaras, yes. I'm here. I got to bring up this little situation here. During the WCW period, there was a couple of times where both Guerrera, Ubutu Guerrera, and Rey Mysterio were unmasked after losing a couple matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, think about this. Ubutu Guerrera, who was nicknamed Uvi, he was mocking The Rock during a promo. He was saying things, "Can you smell what the Uvi is cooking?" And it's like, the audience was not caring for that at all there. But then again, that may have been Vince Russo's idea because he was mad at Vince McMahon when he was in WCW during that time. And he was making full mockery of anything WWF, including having his boy Ed Ferreira mock Jim Ross like they did.
Yeah.
That was tasteless.
There was a masked wrestler in wrestling. A mask. Let me try this in English. There was a masked wrestler in Mexico. Did a lot of movies. I think he was El Santo or something like that.
Really? Mm.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of them on either MST or Rift Tracks. I forget which one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay, so we know, I thought you were about to say what I was about to say, Art. There's a wrestler. Okay, obviously Psychosis is the mask with the horns coming out.
I think
Right.
so,
Right.
yes.
What was the La Parca? La Parca, that's the okay. Remember La Parca? It had like
mm-hmm.
the skeleton. I mean,
Right.
bro,
Yes.
there was I was 5 or 6 years old when these luchas were coming out WCW, right?
Right.
And like Jacob RP said earlier, I mean, we have to throw in you're not because the luchas, in my opinion, are the masked wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
People like Dean Malenko, blah blah blah, others they're part of the cruiserweight division who wrestled the luchas, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's a style, and it's a Mexican style, so I mean, you can't really call.
Yeah, Malenko was a man of 1,001 holds or something like that.
Yes.
So, and they told more because they were when they wore the masks. They told their story with their moves, because they couldn't. Because a lot of wrestlers, the facial expressions when they zoom in. With the lucha, you don't get that, so that's why they compensate with being over the top high flyers, with their moves and everything. But this Conan thing, obviously, if you look it up, Conan, he was a huge name in Mexico, like top star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the one that brought, like you said, and I said, he was the one that brought in a lot of these guys.
Was he also?
He had a small picture in WWF as Max Moon or something, Maxwell Moon or something character. But obviously everyone remembers him in the NWO, Viva La Raza, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So like a couple years ago, probably 3 or 4. It was, and I still have these notes. Right here. I'll send a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Notes I took for the WrestleMania. It was let me look. Hologram. I'm just trying to find a match. God, my scribbling's horrible.
Yeah.
No, it was Miz, Rollins, and Balor. I guess a triple threat. Maybe it was like WrestleMania. Maybe it was like a 2018 WrestleMania, 2017, right? It was kind of a couple of those years they were kind of lame, like right when Bryan left, Dana Bryan left. Like so, anyways, like Conan's been doing this podcasting and all that, like a lot of wrestlers do at the time. Obviously, like I got into Joe Cronin from looking up Hulk Hogan podcasts and stuff, and that was around the time the Hulk Hogan thing with Bubba the Love Sponge happened, right? So that linked me to Joe Cronin's thing, and then I listened to like X Pac podcast, and that led me into Conan's, Conan and Disco show, and then you find the podcast, you listen, and that's around the time Joe started promoting his not Discord, the Patreon. Patreon. I was like, right when Patreon came out, and Conan and them started a Patreon. Now, keep in mind, I was on Twitter at the time, and their producer Joe Feeney, we DM'd every now and then, but it was at first I was a Patreon member at $5, and at the time, because they changed it now, it's like more money for interaction basically. So at the time it was like $5, and you get to like do WrestleMania reviews, like they used to do that WrestleMania reviews with Conan and Disco on there. And at the time, obviously, they knew me as the Young Republican. That was when the Trump stuff was coming in, so it was, like polarizing. Of course, my character is very polarizing. At the time, being the Young Republican, like, oh, young people and Republicans, not a lot of young people are Republicans. You know what I mean? So, and Disco has that. He has right-leaning views, and he was just talking about why Trump isn't a bad person is pretty polarizing. And that was kind of the gist they went, like, why is everyone going after this guy? He's entertaining. He's literally cutting. Like they were saying, Trump cuts a wrestling promo. Like that's why the people, he was in WWE. He did stuff for Bobby Lashley. Like he knows how to be the character and cut the promo. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
and all that. So like, yeah, I did these shows with them, and they know me by, Young Republican. Like they know me by name. You know what I mean, like that. But it's been a while. It's been some years because they've grown on Patreon and they up their tiers. So to do these shows with them, it's a little bit more like $20 a month tiers, and everything's fine. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I got my chance to hang out. I mean, it was like hanging out with Cronin or Ken on a call. It was nothing like fancy or not. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about the wrestling and stuff, and very, very, very cool, humble guys that are misunderstood. These older, like I said before, these older wrestlers, these vets that were popular in the time where wrestling was the most popular in the late 90s. You know what I mean? It was cool. You can't, you know what I'm saying? That shit's priceless, and they know what to talk about. Obviously, everyone knows I'm a big Disco guy, Conan guy.
Yep.
But Conan was he was the guy that brought that kind of negotiated that deal. It kind of was that Trump, the negotiator to bring in these talents. You know what I'm saying? These luchador talents, and that obviously sprung cruiserweight divisions, everything and all that. So at the end of the day, if you look it up, Conan, he just inducted Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest, maybe top 3 best speeches I ever heard. And I'm not the only one saying that. A lot of other people listen, because I listen to their shows. They do the show every week, and like the week after that came out, the week after, basically the episode after the Hall of Fame, they were talking about that and everything, and everyone was like, "Man, Conan did good," and that was their best friend. It was like Rey Mysterio, Conan, and Eddie Guerrero. They were like a crew. You know what I mean? Grew up together, all that stuff. But deep ties with Conan. Very, 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 very important person in wrestling, in professional wrestling, for real. Way different now, guys. Wrestling is way. There's just nothing. I mean, there's a couple storylines, like the head of the table stuff with Roman Reigns, and then obviously like the Rey and Dominic stuff. But there's nothing that. Remember back in the day, like when wrestling ended, and we watched the entire 3 hours of Raw. for the
Yes.
entire 2 hours or however long WCW is. We're like, dang, we want more. We're anticipating next week's episode.
Yes, we were.
It doesn't work like that,
That was, and no, it's,
you know?
and what, that was the thing that Vince Russo pointed out. You had to make the next show better than the last one, But I guess what it is now that all the secrets has been exposed by all these wrestlers doing podcasts, programs, interviews, exposing what went on behind the scenes, how this match was prepared, went on during this match there, all that stuff got revealed. In a lot of ways, that kind of like killed the desire to watch pro wrestling. Whereas back
Yeah.
then, people thought it was actually real. I mean, give these wrestlers their due. They were damn good actors. I remember DDP even saying that a couple of Hollywood stuntmen would call them, ask them, how are you able to do that feat? How are you able to pull that stint off? How are you able to get that jump in and land on that one spot there on the stage there? Well, obviously, there's a whole bunch of mattresses underneath that thin ass plywood there, which is way thin, obviously.
Yeah, I used to watch, when I was a kid, I used to watch wrestling with my granddad, and I already knew that it was staged, but it looked real enough. But my
Yeah.
granddad, he thought it was real, and it was so much fun watching the matches with him
Oh, yeah.
and watching him rather than the matches, because man, he would flat get into it, and it was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
What
He
made you,
was.
what made you think it was fake at the time, though? Like,
It, to be honest, I don't remember. I think in some cases it was just because some of the stuff was kind of like, oh man, no, that can't be real, that
yeah.
sort of thing, kind of a realization. But then I liked it enough that I went with it. It was fine, it didn't bother me.
I think for me it was when you noticed that how many punches the wrestler would take. You notice that at the end of the match, your face didn't really look all that bruised because right away you would get a
Right.
massive black eye after a few socks in that area there.
Yeah.
That's true. It's kind of, but sadly, I think what it is I don't know if it's chance for the wrestling to go back to the strong, excitable sport that it is. Because for the past few years, MMA took over that with the UFC and other MMA companies out there. I think I forgot a few of them, but one thing I have noticed that many MMA fighters have turned to pro wrestling. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. For a while, they had Maria Schiffer and Jaslyn Duke, who together were the MMA Four Horsewomen, compared to the WWE Four Horsewomen, which had Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair.
I like that. They should have done something with that in the real roster instead of just NXT.
Yeah,
Some of
exactly.
the other people that were in the UFC, of course, Brock Lesnar for a while,
Ken Shamrock.
CM Punk. Well, I was going to mention him. Yeah, a lot of people forget that guy.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah,
have y'all ever watched?
Tank
I
Abbott.
did. No, at the time I'm talking 1990, 1998, 99, 2000. Obviously, you're flipping over WCW, WWF, but they also had, I don't know exactly what channel, maybe Telemundo, maybe Galavision, Univision, but they had the Mexico wrestling on with the Mexican commentators, Spanish commentators.
Yes.
I mean, some true lucha. I mean, everyone's a mask. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I was like 6 or 7. I didn't understand what they were saying in Spanish, but high flying. I mean, it is. You talk about like the indie scene in America, like the scene in Mexico, wrestling scene is huge.
Oh yeah, they did some stuff that's unreal. I think the name of that guy that was in a lot of movies was Santo. I think it was that, or El Santo, or something like that. But he did a lot of movies, which was kind of weird in a way.
Ah. Yeah, they give because let's not forget many wrestlers did a lot of movies as well. Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3. Jesse the Body Ventura was in Predator, The Running Man. He was also in that Exorcist spoof, Repossessed, with Gene Oakland. He made an appearance in that. Those two made an appearance in that, I should say, there.
Roddy Piper was in, what was it, They Live?
They Live, and other movies like Hell Comes to Frogtown, a movie
I
called
liked They
Bodies.
Live. That was
So
good.
did I. So did I. You know what? Yeah, he did his part definitely for sure there, and he used a lot of some of the wrestling moves and some of the fight scenes between him and Keith David, the other actor there, the black guy.
Yeah. To get him to wear the glasses.
Yep. And also, let's not forget. You remember the $6 Million Man, the TV
Ted
series?
DiBiase.
No, well,
Oh,
not
yeah.
Andre
Well,
the
yeah, but
Andre the Giant was Bigfoot in that series there. You remember that robotic Sasquatch? That was Andre the Giant.
But
Yeah, that was him. Exactly.
now, did Ark ever go see any wrestling at the
Sportatorium.
Sportatorium?
No, I wished I had it, but I didn't. Actually,
In Houston, they used to have. I mean, this was way back. I wasn't even born yet, but like the Houston wrestling with Paul Bosch.
yeah.
And back then, like they would. I mean, obviously, y'all know, but probably none of it. It was like obviously now like WWE, AEW, they're the big thing, but like they had these smaller, like the territories, and like your wrestlers would come around. So like Ric Flair would come around, Andre the Giant would come
Right.
around, like
Well,
like a tour.
WCCW was trying to go national before WWF did, and didn't do it.
Oh, well,
They were on ESPN for a while.
yeah. I remember.
But see,
So is the AWA.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to thank the McMahon family for wrestling, because if that would have never like senior, I mean, I don't know if like I know wrestling was a thing way back in the day, but there's I'm trying to say here is like Vince McMahon Senior. I don't want to say invented it, but like I guess the Titantron and the music coming, like he invented things that what it made it is like how it is today.
Well,
You get what I'm
basically,
saying? Like
Vince McMahon made wrestling a spectacular. He gave it,
like storylines.
yeah.
The microphone on like back in the way back in the day, they make up promos, but it wasn't like it was
Well,
different.
Senior respected the territories and wanted to keep them the way it was. Junior's the one that was trying to kill the territories.
Yeah, which he did. He did. Because now
Yep.
all the now, keep in mind, all those pyrotechnics.
But I liked it back in the day because, I liked it back in the day because I could watch the WCCW, NWA, whatever.
So Art,
I could see the Georgia Championship.
That's what I read.
That was where Hulk Hogan got his start as Terrabellea.
and that was local promotion, so you had to be in the local area or state or city to see that
Yep.
on TV.
Yep.
You know, it's pretty cool. Someone's like the radio. But Brown, quick sidebar. Brown. This week only, May 10th to May 16th on Ticketmaster.
Remember?
It's $25 all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Janet,
And by the way, mm-hmm. Yes. Hello, your voice cut out a little bit there. So what's up with Ticketmaster there? I was going to say a little bit there. I remember. What?
$25 tickets. $25 tickets. May
For who?
16th.
For who?
The world for over 3,800 shows is a list. It's like a special. They're $25 all in. I mean, I'm seeing names like Shania Twain, Snoop Dogg, Janet Jackson. I think Bush
Hmm?
as well.
And
Um,
what event is this? The rodeo?
no, it's just a Ticketmaster. It's a
Hmm.
special, $25 tickets
Oh,
to all these
okay.
different.
Yeah, but
Stuff.
stuff there. Well, well, the problem I have with that is that some of the acts you mentioned, I have no interest in seeing there. I'm not into Snoop
Well,
Dogg nor Shania Twain.
there's Creed Fisher, Duran Duran,
Hmm.
um, a bunch of stuff. Garbage. Remember that band Garbage?
Yeah, I wasn't big a fan. I'd probably go for
Remember
Duran
them? I
Duran.
like them. Fuego. Some rapper named Fuego. Brian Adams. Ooh.
Hmm. Oh, well.
Matchbox 20. Like basically all the most of the pavilion tours this
Yeah.
summer. They're having this special going on this week.
Hmm.
$25. Ace Free. That's what I'm saying. Oh look, Ace Frehley, $25 general admission.
Hmm. That sounds good. I wouldn't mind checking him
You know,
out.
usually they're $50.
Hmm. Right. And
Quick
well, I
little
was
sidebar there.
right there. Yeah. I was
All
gonna.
you got to do is hope he comes into your area.
Yeah, it's true there. Yeah. Now, I was going to mention this. I remember during one
Because
territory
if you've seen
wrestling
Bangor,
promotion.
Maine, you don't care.
Yeah. I was going to mention that Hulk Hogan was Terry Boulder in some wrestling promotion that was
Well, let me tell
independent.
you something, dude.
And his friend
Yeah.
Ed Leslie,
Well,
who later became Brutus Beefcake, he was Eddie Boulder. He's supposed to portray his
What song?
brother.
What songs do the Cure
what you
sing?
do,
Real quick.
What?
The Cure band. What songs do they? What are some of their big popular songs? The Cure.
Well, there's Hot, Hot, Hot. You know,
Firewoman.
Boys Don't Cry.
Firewoman.
What?
Firewoman.
No, that's a cult.
Fire.
That's a
Oh,
cult.
I'm getting way mixed
that's
up.
like Sanctuary's the cult. I get them mixed up too.
Yeah, the She Sells Sanctuary.
Cure kind
That's
of
the
like.
cult.
Is the Cure kind of like kind of Nine Inch Nailsy, kind
Well,
of
it's kind of
gothic, or
it's gothic, yes, but it's more depressed goth. You
okay,
know, I mean, it's basically the
yeah,
songs they have are like you know, like what's it called? Just Like Heaven. There's Hot, Hot, Hot. There's Prayers for Rain, Fascination Street, Boys Don't Cry, The Walk. A lot of those songs there. Oh yeah, In Between Days, Without You.
what about Godsmack? You like Godsmack or
Ah,
no?
they have some good songs there. Yes, I do like Voodoo and Whatever there. The name of the track, by the way. But Silver Roll Hunter, you still there, man?
I guess not.
Oh,
In
he's
a fight,
still here, but I don't know if he's muted or anything. Probably
he's in a
stepped away a
fist
little bit
fight.
there. Hmm.
He's in a fist
Well, I
fight.
don't know if you've ever seen it,
Mhm.
but when Hogan first came into the WWF, he was managed by, I believe, Bobby Heenan, but he was a heel.
Yeah, no, it was
His
Classy
first
Freddie Blassie.
experiences. That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
But he
Classy
came
Freddie
in as a
Blassie.
heel.
Yeah, that's right there. Yes, he was a heel way back then before he joined the NWO.
Yeah, that was his first run as a heel.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting to see. It's like there's promos out there of the Von Erichs being heels in Florida or Georgia or wherever when they were big heroes in Dallas.
Yep. Hell,
They
here's
were
some.
rock stars in Dallas.
Yeah. Hell, back in the early days, you know, around the Jerry the King Lawler was like the big baby face in the USWA, but in the WWF, where he was like a co-announcer with Ross or McMahon, he was a heel. And the
Yeah,
same thing with the guy who calls himself Bully Ray in the in the NWA. He was a good guy, but in Impact Wrestling, he was the heel there. It all depends on remembering which character you are at that point.
right.
Wait a minute. Let me check something here. The stream ended once again.
I know Sting pretty much was always a face, but hey, early, they had a heel turn when he was in the Freedom Fighters with
Jim Hellwig, the
Hellwig.
Ultimate Warrior, yes.
And as the Blade Runners, they were heels.
Mm-hmm.
But Sting became a face after that and pretty much stayed one.
Oh, wow.
I can't recall a time after that he was a heel.
I think it was a heel for a short period of time under Russo's direction there for a while there. But then again, he kind of like had an attitude about him when it came to Lex Luger, who also became a heel soon afterwards there.
Yeah.
Listen,
and of course, Flair bounced back and forth.
Yeah, it's true there. I think it's probably a time to end the show right now because it's after 8, almost close to 8:30 p.m. over here. There.
Okay, and I guess Wednesday we're continuing with the 90s.
Yes.
And I'm looking so forward to that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We got lots.
Pick up
Pick up where we left off there.
I want to breeze through